for Emery hits 8th. Ethan Tuttle, the catcher, will hit 7th. And Easton Gordon, the second baseman, rounds out the order and bats 9th. And the pitch on its way is going to be high for ball 1 to Dylan Wilstead. Defensively for Grand, coming in with a record of 21-3. We'll get that defense here for you momentarily as the 1-0 pitch is on its way home, and that one swung on and lined foul right off the screen in front of the first base dugout, being occupied by the Emery Spartans, coming in with a 17-6 record. Both of these teams coming out of Region 15. They have met twice this year, with Emery winning both of those matchups in a very close one-run ball game at Emery High School back in March. And the 1-1 pitch is going to be swung on and fouled away. And the count will go 1-2 strikes now on Dylan Wilstead. The other matchup also coming in March, that was on March 20th at Grand County, and that one going to the Spartans by a 6-3 final. The 1-2 pitch, the kick and the delivery comes. That one misses off the plate for ball 2, and the count evens at 2-2 strikes. Both of these teams already having played one game today. Those games being played down at Spanish Fork earlier this morning. The 2-2 pitch, the kick and the delivery comes home. That one swung on, hit well to center field. It's going to send White back. He gets under it. He's there, and he makes the play. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Emery Spartans. After the break here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com, Grand comes up to bat after the break. Bottom of the first inning starting here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and the Grand County Red Devils are coming up. This is their starting lineup. Leading off will be the shortstop, Braden Ward. Braden Schultz in right will hit in the 2 spot. Tanner White, the center fielder, 3rd. The pitcher, Kyler Nelson, will hit 4th. Josh Jones, the left fielder, hits 5th. Ronald Dolphin behind home plate hits 6th. Dalton McElhaney will hit in the 7th spot. Christian Wilson, 8th. And Caden Noyes will bat 9th today for Grand County. Great to be with everybody on what has turned out to be a cloudy, overcast afternoon in Orem at the end of the last game. Some raindrops actually began to fall, but we've been so far able to stay clear from the rain here on day 1 of the state tournament from Brent Brown Ballpark. That one's going to be lined out into right center field. That's going to fall for a leadoff single for Braden Ward, as he got a pitch on the outside corner and just was able to take it off into right field for a leadoff single. So a good way to start there if you're Grand County. They get a leadoff, just a single into right center field. They were able to get it to fall, and now that's going to bring up Braden Schultz, the right fielder. Grand County earlier today defeating South Sevier 7-0. That one swung on, grounded right to first. Lake's going to go to first, touch the bag, turn and look to second, but won't have a play. So Braden Schultz does his job there. He's able to move the base runner, but the first out of the inning is recorded. But the runner does move down into scoring position. So Grand County with their first runner in scoring position of the afternoon, and Tanner White's going to come up to the plate. The pitch on its way. White's going to stand, and that one's going to get away from behind home plate. Tuttle can't make the throw down, and Braden Ward is on third base sliding in, and now with one away, Grand County has a runner 90 feet away from home. Getting the start today on the mound for Emery, number 1, Bryce Dugmore, will work here from the stretch and will come home. And that one's going to be swung on, hit well to center field. That should get the run home. Going back is Roper. He's there to make the play. The second out of the inning recorded, and coming in to score from third is Braden Ward. It's 1-0 Grand County. So the important thing there, if you're Grand County, you get the sacrifice fly. You don't necessarily need a hit in that situation, but there they get the sacrifice fly. And the first pitch is lined by Kyler Nelson to left field. That's going to fall in front of debris. Taking the turnaround first is Nelson, and he's on here with 2 outs in the first inning. So 2 singles for Grand County. The first one led to a run. We'll see what will happen here, and we'll see quickly the courtesy runner come in here for Grand County. I believe that's going to be Joseph Downard, number 14, coming into courtesy run. In high school baseball, unlike some of the other levels, you can bring in that courtesy runner, and it's not really, it's not a defensive replacement. So Kyler Nelson in this situation isn't out of the ball game. It's just he's going to have someone run for him. So with 2 outs now, Josh Jones, the left fielder, stands in, wearing number 17. Doug Moore set on the mound. That one's going to be lined out in the left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Going down to second is Downard, and the third hit for Grand County. They have a couple of men on here with 2 away, and they'll continue going through their lineup as Ronald Dolphin will come to the plate. So again, not a ball that was just hit, not a ball that was hit extremely hard. It was just hit hard enough to get up over the head there of the shortstop, Ridge Nielsen, and get into left field. And now Ronald Dolphin, the catcher, will stand in with 2 outs here. Bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Grand County. Dolphin will stand in and kind of hold his hand back to the home plate umpire, let him know he's not quite ready yet. Now he's ready to go. First pitch, Dolphin swings, pops it up. Giving it a look is Tuttle. But that's going to get back here and hit off the concourse, the roof behind us here. No balls and a strike on Ronald Dolphin. A full slate of baseball already played. Like we mentioned, both of these teams played this morning at 11 o'clock down in Spanish Fork. Emery winning 11-9 to get here after they were the number 1 seed out of Region 15, the conference champion, beating Millard 11-1 before losing to Enterprise 12-7. And the first pitch, or the second pitch now, goes low and away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll keep you updated throughout the day on other games that have taken place today and what the situation looks for heading into tomorrow. Of course, the ultimate goal is to be playing in Saturday's 11 a.m. championship game, and that pitch is low, and the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Right now, Manti and Enterprise will meet tomorrow afternoon for an opportunity to be 1 win away from that, and we'll see here who will win that one, but plenty of baseball to go tonight here. As the 2-1 pitch in on the inside corner, and the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Dark clouds can come up over again here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Doug Moore looking to try to get out of this with only allowing the 1 run in the first. The 2-2 pitch on its way home. That one swung on, got a good portion of the bat on him, and just hit it foul down the left field line. It's 305 down the left field line. It's going to be 408 to dead center, and then 312 down the right field line. So not a huge ballpark in comparisons to maybe some of the other ones here in the state of Utah, but just going to be big enough that it will keep some balls in the yard, especially now that wind blowing in from right field. The 2-2 pitch is swung on, popped up. Giving it a look was Doug Moore, but that one's going to go foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That wind really picking up here in these last couple of minutes here, right around first pitch or so. The sun was out about 20 minutes before game time, but then quickly the clouds started to come up again as some scattered showers and thunderstorms worked their way here through the Orem area today. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. The kick and the delivery swung on and popped up by Dolphin. Into center field, it's Roper. He's under it now. The wind drifts it, and he's going to get there to make the play to end the inning. But Grand County does get 1. They get 1 run on 3 hits, at the end of one inning from Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem. It's Grand 1, Emery 0. You're watching the Class 2A 2015 High School State Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. It was a quick 1-2-3 inning in the first for Kyler Nelson. He'll go back to work here against Tyson Roper, Race Nielsen, and Mark DeBry coming up. 4, 5, and 6 for the Emery Spartans. And the wind and the delivery home from Nelson is going to be a slider right on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. That pitch just kind of broke from one side and broke to the opposite and just stuck there right on the corner. The 0-1 pitch coming in, that one misses away, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nelson back to work, ready to go. The 1-1 pitch, that one comes inside, and they're going to say, you might have heard kind of that hard kind of something that it hit, and it looks like what they're going to say is it came up and in, and it went off the bat there of Tyson Roper. Even if it comes inside, you got to get that bat down. In that case, it went right off the bat handle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count, and this time Roper's going to make contact and foul this one away. So we'll have another 1-2 pitch coming here. Top of the second inning, 1-0 Grand. Nelson, the right-hander, kicks and delivers home, and that one's going to miss low and away, ball 2, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nelson set, ready to go. The 2-2 pitch. This one's going to be swung on a good piece of hitting out to left field. Turning Jones around. He's not going to get there. Will one hop the wall. Going into second with a stand-up double is Tyson Roper, and the Emery Spartans have something going with no outs with a leadoff double thanks to Tyson Roper. The ball was hit pretty well, and Jones out there in left field for Grand County. Josh Jones just kind of got his hips turned around out there, and once he got turned around, he wasn't going to be able to get to it. Even if he takes a direct path, that ball, I think, is over his head. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike to Race Nielsen, the designated hitter. So an opportunity for Emery here to strike back. We'll see here if maybe they're content to play some small ball, move the runner over or not. Doesn't appear to be so far. The 0-1 pitch, a fastball misses away. Dolphin thought about firing down, but McElhaney and Ward, either of them were there at the bag, so we had to hold on to it. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. The right-hander kicks, now turns, steps off the mound, and looks him back to second. And getting back safely was the runner Roper. We've seen throughout the day some of these games, base runners get some huge leads out there at second base. The 1-1 pitch, this one comes in and low. Good block by Dolphin to keep that one in front of him for ball 2. And it's 2 balls and a strike. It's particularly important, not that it's really a deep backstop here at Brent Brown Ballpark, but you are going to give a base up if that ball gets behind you there. 2 balls and a strike. And the right-hander comes home. There's a fastball that misses away, ball 3. And the count goes to 3 balls and a strike here on Race Nielsen. Running on at second base, Tyson Roper led off the inning with a double to left field. A good hitter's count here for Race Nielsen. Should see something good to hit. The 3-1 pitch swung on and fouled back, and it's 3-2. Nielsen gets that front foot kind of out and then kind of does a drop, kind of drops it in the batter's box as the pitch comes. And so wouldn't be surprised here if maybe Kyler Nelson doesn't think about going to a breaking ball low and away. 3-2 pitch, breaking ball inside, ball 4. And Emery's got something going here. Men on at first and second, nobody out for Mark DeBry. So now it might be a little more tempting if you're Emery to lay down the bunt and try to see here. We're going to have a quick visit out to the mound here already by Grand County. Chance just to make sure that they can get everything to go as the raindrops begin to fall here once again, as I can kind of feel them a little bit here in the press box, but nothing too bad yet. As a dark rain cloud comes up over Brent Brown Ballpark. Last year, the 3A and 4A and 5A tournaments that were here, we were really fortunate. We had great weather throughout, nice sunny days, but so far Mother Nature here, especially on day 1 of the tournament here at Brent Brown Ballpark, hasn't exactly been favorable here. The first couple of games, beautiful weather, but then have kind of turned south on us here in the last couple of hours. So Mark DeBry will stand in here. Runners on at first and second. We'll see here if Emery considers to lay down the bunt. They do. They pop it straight up in the air, giving it a look and going for it, but not getting there is going to be Dolphin. That bunt was popped straight up into the air, and Dolphin tried to get there, but the bunt was not just popped up, it was popped up deep back to behind the backstop, and Dolphin tried to run it down, but just couldn't quite get there. No balls and 1 strike the count. Runners get their lead. Noise at first base, playing in front of the runner, Nielsen at first. And the bunt laid down this time right on the ground. Nobody covering first base. Everybody's going to be safe. Noise came in like he was going to field the bunt, and when that happened, McElhaney, the second baseman, he went to cover second base, which left nobody covering first. And by the time Noise realized what was going on, there was no way he was going to be able to retreat in time. So everybody's safe, and Emery has the bases loaded for Ethan Tuttle. So a golden opportunity if you're the Emery Spartans. Grand County is going to bring in the infield. They're going to all play here on the grass with nobody out. They're trying to early on try to cut that run down at the plate. The first pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Outfield not playing very deep here even throughout today. Most of the outfields haven't been playing very deep. Now the infield up the middle, back into double play depth. The 0-1 pitch turning out of the way was Ethan Tuttle as that one came high and inside for a ball, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tuttle with that open stance gets that front foot all the way almost out of the batter's box. The wind and the delivery of the 1-1 pitch. That one swung on by Tuttle, hit pretty well out to left. Jones is going back. He's still going to run back on it. It's going to one-hop the wall. Coming in to score will be Roper. Race Nielsen right behind him. The relay throw coming to the plate is going to be in and through the legs of Dolphin, and everybody will move up again another base. So Roper and Nielsen score. DeBry down to third when the throw comes through under the legs of Dolphin, and going down to second base is Ethan Tuttle. So a 2-run single for the catcher. And Emery has a 2-1 lead here in the second. So 2 runs in for the Spartans, 2 more sitting on the base paths as Tanner Lake comes to the plate. Kyler Nelson looking to get a first out of the inning, something to get going his way in the first pitch. High with the fastball, the fake throw by Dolphin down to third base, but everyone was able to dive back. 1 ball and no strikes the count on Tanner Lake, the first baseman. Lake hitting in the 8th spot. Easton Gordon, the second baseman, on deck to follow. The 1-0 pitch, that one high and tight again, ball 2. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes on Tanner Lake. It is a little unusual to see a home team wearing gray. Typically in baseball, the gray uniforms are for the visiting team. The 2-1 pitch swung on, or 2-0 pitch, I'm sorry, is fouled straight back. And it'll be 2 balls and a strike. So kind of something a little bit on the unusual side, but nothing that you can't adapt to. Of course, like I said, with both of these teams earlier already playing today, I bet you these were the uniforms that they wore earlier. So outside of having to make anybody change uniforms, they just wore the same ones. 2-1 pitch, that one misses away, ball 3, and the count goes to 3 balls and a strike now on Tanner Lake. So a good fastball count for Lake. Should see something good here. Is going to force Kyler Nelson to go over the plate. Runners get their lead here. Right side of the infield coming in. And the 3-1 pitch on its way home. Swung on and missed with the fastball, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 2nd inning. Kyler Nelson working from the stretch, 1 pitch away from that first out of the inning. And comes set on the mound, kicks and delivers, and that one's going to get to the backstop. Putting his head down from third is DeBry. He will score, and it's 3-1 Emery. And with nobody out, the 9-hole hitter, Easton Gordon, will come to the plate. We'll have a visit to the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change here. Grand County goes to the bullpen here in the 2nd. We'll introduce you to the new pitcher when we come back. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School Baseball State Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Now taking for Grand, number 34, Mason Ward. Batting for Emery, number 23.
Grand County has to go to the bullpen after only 1 inning from Kyler Nelson. Mason Ward will come in, and he'll face Easton Gordon, and the first pitch misses away for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. We can't quite close the book on Kyler Nelson because the 2 runners on the base paths also are responsible to Kyler Nelson. Mason Ward, the right-hander, comes home. That one misses away for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Easton Gordon. Ridge Nielsen in the on-deck circle, number 2 for Emery. Ward ready to go once again on the mound. The right-hander puts that glove on his hip, comes home, and that one's going to be swung on, chopped up over the head of Wilstead at third base. Coming in to score is Ethan Tuttle. It's 4-1 Emery here in the 2nd on RBI single by Easton Gordon. That one was just hit right up over the head, of Christian Wilson, the third baseman for Grand County. As credit Easton Gordon with an RBI single. And Emery's bats are coming alive here in the 2nd inning. Ridge Nielsen steps in. He's 0 for 1 this afternoon. Went down on strikeouts back in the first. Lays down a bunt right back to the pitcher. His only play is going to be first. The throw is in time. And so Ridge Nielsen lays down the sacrifice for the first out of the inning. But it moves both runners, Lake and Gordon, up 90 feet. And Tristan Debendurfer is going to come to the plate. So Debendurfer here will look to try to see if he can't provide a single to bring in two. Once again, the right side of the infield for Grand County is going to play maybe about a step off the infield grass here at Brent Brown Ballpark. And the first pitch on its way, that one's low and in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Dolphin with the block behind home plate. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The 8th man to come to the plate here is Tristan Debendurfer. Debendurfer kind of turns, shows the bunt, now pulls it back, and is just going to wave that bat up over his shoulder. Mason Ward, the right-hander, takes a look at third, comes set, and comes home. The pitch is swung on, popped up into shallow left center field. Going out, making a run, coming in, and not making the play is going to be the shortstop, Braden Ward. Coming in from third is Tanner Lake, and it's 5-1 Emery. That one just right off his glove. It was a long run for Braden Ward there. We'll see how they're going to rule that. It looks like they're going to give him an error. It did go right off his glove, but kind of a tough play to make because he had to run backwards after playing in. The ball wasn't hit extremely hard either. So trying to get some help from Tanner White. White wasn't going to get there, so just kind of a tough play there for the shortstop in that case. Braden Ward to get there, and he didn't. So 5-1 Emery, 1 out, and the first pitch is swung on and popped up by Wilstead. This one into shallow right field, or left field. Ward is there, and he'll make the play for the second out of the inning. So the 10th man to come to the plate here in the second inning for Emery is going to be Tyson Roper. Roper actually led off the second inning with a double to get everything started. Hit one pretty well out to left field. Josh Jones kind of got turned around out there. And the first pitch on its way is going to be kind of blocked in the dirt, taking down, going to third. The throw in on a hop. A good stop by Wilson, keeping that ball in front of him. As moving down to third is Easton Gordon. So now as the rain begins to fall a little bit harder here at Brent Brown Ballpark, everyone in those first few rows getting their umbrellas out and other people heading for the awnings here at Brent Brown Ballpark. 1 ball, no strikes to count. The pitch is going to be swung on, grounded right up the middle. It's going to be fielded there by McElhaney. He'll touch second base for the third out of the inning. But the Emery Spartans do their damage. They score 5 here in the second. We head to the bottom of the second at Brent Brown Ballpark. Emery 5, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah State High School Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the second inning starting here at Brent Brown Ballpark. The Grand County Red Devils have some work to do, and Dalton and McElhaney, the second baseman, will lead it off. It'll be McElhaney, Wilson, and Noyes, 7, 8, 9 coming up against Bryce Dugmore, and the first pitch on its way is going to be swung on, hit hard into the hole. It's short. Nielsen gets there. His throw across the diamond, scooped out of first by Lake, and the first out of the second inning is recorded. So McElhaney hit one deep into the hole. A good play there from at shortstop by Ridge Nielsen to have to backhand that ball. He was pretty deep in the hole, made a good throw across, but then his first baseman, Tanner Lake, did what any good first baseman will do with the nice little scoop out at first. With one out, the first pitch comes home. That one's popped up into right. Giving this one a look is going to be 3 Emery Spartans, and getting there is Easton Gordon for the second out of the inning on the pop-up. So what you'd really like if you're Bryce Dugmore, 2 pitches and you got 2 outs here in the second inning. And now it's going to bring up, I believe that's going to be Caden Noyes coming to the plate, the 9-hole hitter. Noyes getting the start at first base, and the first pitch on its way. In fact, that's number 34, Mason Ward, is now hitting in this lineup in the spot that would have been Caden Noyes. 0-1 pitch, and Ward fouls that one down, and it's going to be 0-2. So that's the other thing with high school baseball. Some of the entry rules and some of the things in which you can have the designated hitter for some guys and then not have them for others can cause a scorebook for a broadcaster to be a little bit interesting. That one's chopped foul to third, fielded backhanded by Wilstead, but it went foul just about the time he was going to field it. So Ward hitting in Caden Noyes' spot. When we go back to the top of the lineup, Braden Ward's in the on-deck circle for Grand County. Bryce Dugmore, the right-hander, looking in, gets the sign, and delivers the 0-2 pitch. That one's just off the plate for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dugmore comes set on the mound, gets the sign, and kicks the 1-2 pitch home. That one down low, and a good block behind home plate by Tuttle, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Winner of this one moves into a game tomorrow at 11 a.m. against Delta. The 2-2 pitch, that one on the inside corner, but misses for a ball 3-2. Delta losing 3-2 to Manti here at 11 a.m. this morning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. So here's the 3-2 pitch coming home, misses low, ball 4. And so drawing the 2-out walk there is Mason Ward. And now we'll go back to the top of the lineup and Braden Ward. Braden Ward started the game off for Grand County with a single, and then would later come around to score the lone run for Grand County. And now I think we're going to might have a change here as well, as I think we might have a courtesy runner coming in, and we do. It's going to be Joseph Downard coming in once again to courtesy run here for the pitcher, Mason Ward. So it's fairly common you'll see the courtesy runner if you're new to high school baseball. You'll see the courtesy runner come in a lot of times for a catcher with 2 outs, so that way the catcher can get back and get all the gear on so we can keep going. Or sometimes for the pitcher to keep the pitcher maybe from getting hurt or something like that, or even sometimes to put a little more speed on the base paths. As the first pitch gets Downard going back over as the throw came over from Dugmore to first. So one of those kind of fun, interesting rules to high school baseball. Dugmore from the stretch delivers the first pitch home. That's a ground ball hit to second. Easton Gordon bobbles it and can't handle it, and reaching first is going to be Braden Ward. So an error there against Braden Ward, and now there's 2 men on for Braden Schultz. So just a simple ground ball hit to Easton Gordon, but when Gordon, he bobbled it initially and then just couldn't pick up the baseball. And so with 2 outs, Braden Schultz stands in, hit into a fielder's choice, grounded out to first baseman Tanner Lake back in the first. Dugmore delivers the first pitch home, a breaking ball that came in about belt high, and it's no balls and a strike. Emery 5, Grand County 1, bottom of the second inning from Brent Brown Ballpark. Big hole on the right side for Braden Schultz. The 0-1 pitch, the kick and the delivery, that one off the plate for a ball. Tuttle did a good job there. I think he thought about throwing down to first, but Tanner Lake wasn't covering the bag, so that wouldn't have made a lot of sense. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Doug Moore from the stretch takes a look over at first. Comes set on the mound and comes home. And that one's popped up. Hit into right field. Now it's going to send Debenderfer back. He's over and he makes the play for the final out of the second inning. So Grand County gets a couple of base runners, one via an error and one via a walk, but they can't score them. At the end of 2 complete here from Brent Brown Ballpark, it's Emery 5, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A's Utah High School State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. The last time the Emery Spartans came up to bat, they scored 5 runs in that second inning. As the rain comes down a little bit harder here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and the first pitch is popped up by Race Nielsen, giving it a look, and running out of room is Dolphin behind home plate, as my scorebook here got a little wet and my rosters here got a little wet as that rain kind of comes down a little bit harder here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. It's a great thing about baseball. You play it outdoors, and sometimes it rains. No balls and a strike. Race Nielsen walked his first at-bat, came around to score. That one low and inside for a ball, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The clouds looking like they're a little bit lighter coming out of the south here, so that's something good to look forward to. The 1-1 pitch. Nielsen gets a pretty good swing on that one out to left. Josh Jones is there. He's under it. He'll make the catch for the first out of the inning. So a routine fly ball there off the bat of Race Nielsen, and with 1 away, Mark DeBry comes to plate. DeBry had a single here in the second inning, then came around to score one of those runs for the Spartans of Emery. Mason Ward settling in, trying to keep his team in this ball game. And the first pitch, ground ball past the diving third baseman Wilson into left field for a base hit. So a 1-out single by Mark DeBry's got his second hit of the ball game, and he's aboard here in the third inning for Ethan Tuttle. That was a ground ball, just kind of hit right in the hole, and then Christian Wilson at third base made a diving attempt, but just couldn't quite come up with it. So with 1 out, Ethan Tuttle comes in. Tuttle had a 2-run single in the second, the pickoff move, and diving back safely is DeBry over at first. Tuttle with that deep open stance, that front foot almost out of the batter's box, and the pitch comes in. That one good block by Dolphin behind home plate to make sure that that one stayed in front of him, and it's 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Ethan Tuttle. Tuttle, wearing number 27, stands in, gets that bat kind of up over his shoulder, and the 1-0 pitch is swung on line hard, right back up the middle into right center field. Taking the turn at second, going to third is DeBry. The throw is going to come into third. It's going to be offline as Ethan Tuttle heads into second on the throw. And Emery, once again with 1 out, has 2 runners in scoring position for Tanner Lake. That will only be a single for Ethan Tuttle as that ball was hit hard up the middle, but getting there was the center fielder for Grand, Tanner White. He made the throw into third, and that's when Tuttle made the turn from first and went to second, was on that throw. So Tanner Lake walked and scored a run for Emery in the second. Stands in here with a couple men on and swings and is going to ground that one over to third. Fielded cleanly by Christian Wilson. His throw is going to be low, but a good job by Noyes to scoop it out of the dirt for the second out of the inning. So with 2 outs now, that's going to bring up Easton Gordon. Gordon had an RBI single. He was the first one to face Mason Ward back in the second inning. An RBI here for Emery would probably mean 2 more runs. And that first breaking ball goes low and away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes the count. our second game starting around 7 o'clock or so. North Sevier against Beaver in another elimination game. The winner would get a date with Gunnison tomorrow at 1:30. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Easton Gordon, Kate taking a step out of the box, now stands back in. 1 ball and no strikes. Ward comes home and delivers. That one swung on, hit to center field. It's going to fall in front of Tanner White. 1 run will score. Here comes the second run. The throw in on a hop, not in time. And Emery has opened this one up to a 7-1 lead here in the third. Timely hitting by the Spartans has made a big difference in this one as Tuttle and DeBry both score. At 7-1 Emery, 7 runs on 6 hits. The third RBI of the night for Easton Gordon. And now back to the top of the lineup in Ridge Nielsen. Nielsen's hitting the first 2 innings. That one misses away. Dolphin thought about throwing down, but getting back quickly to the bag was Easton Gordon. Ridge Nielsen a strikeout and also a sacrifice bunt back in the second inning. Stands in here for the 3rd time in an inning this afternoon. The 1-0 pitch coming in. That one swung on, hit down the right field line. That one's going to go foul, and it evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Emery in the yellow tops and white pants. Grand County in the all visiting gray uniforms, but Grand County is the home team today. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The pitch comes home, runner goes. That one's hit hard right to short. Fielded cleanly by Ward. His throw across the diamond is in time, and the 3rd inning comes to an end. But the Emery Spartans add 2 more here in the 3rd. We head to the bottom of the 3rd here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's the Emery Spartans 7 and the Grand County Red Devils 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the rain clouds beginning to leave. It's become a little more lighter out here at Brent Brown Ballpark, but right now for the Grand County Red Devils, they need a little bit of that light to help out the bats, trailing 7-1 here, as it will be Tanner White, Kyler Nelson, and Josh Jones to come up, and the first pitch to Tanner White is swung out and missed, and it's no balls and a strike. Tanner White back in the first had a sacrifice fly that brought home Braden Ward to give, at that time, Grand County a 1-0 lead. The 0-1 pitch on its way home is swung on, and that one's grounded to third, deep in the hole, backhanded. Going to be a long throw, and up the line, it's going to get away. Tanner White makes the turnaround first. He's going to head into second. He'll be there standing. And so what will probably be a base hit and then an error puts a runner in scoring position here for Grand County with nobody away. So just what Grand County needed was to get something to go, as the error there on Ridge Nelson, allowing Tanner White to move up into scoring position. And now Kyler Nelson's going to come to the plate. Nelson 1 for 1, had a single back in the first. The right-hander Doug Moore working from the stretch comes home, breaking ball, roll, foul down the line. Wilstead a nice backhanded play, but by the time he got to the baseball, the ball was foul. No balls and 1 strike to count. Doug Moore takes a look at the runner, White at second base, comes home, breaking ball, swung on, chopped over to third. Leaping is Wilstead into the air, makes the play, and the throw over to first is in time. Most importantly, though, that holds Tanner White at second base, and the first out of the inning is recorded. So a little more of a harder play than that looked, because Wilstead had to make the play, had to leap up into the air, and when he did that, he still had to make the throw across the diamond, in which he made with ease. So with one away, Josh Jones, the left fielder, stands in. He's 1 for 1 with a single, and the first pitch bounces in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to the count. Jones looking for that big RBI single. Takes a look at second base, comes home, and the pitch is swung on, grounded right to third. That's again going to hold the runner as Wilstead makes the throw across the diamond. Any other spot on the diamond, and that moves that runner over to third base, but 2 straight ground balls hit right to Wilstead. Wilstead fielded both of them in about the same spot, which would have made the runner, Tanner White, have to basically run right in to Wilstead at third, makes White hold as the throw comes across. So with 2 outs, Ronald Dolphin comes to the plate. Dolphin 0 for 1, flew out to center field. And the pitch comes in, that one grounded right to Wilstead, goes off his chest. Fielded by Nielsen, the throw is going to be a nice throw, picked out of first by Lake, and the inning is over. So ground balls hit all over the place. Most of them hit to Wilstead, but after the leadoff single by Tanner White, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Grand County. We head to the 4th here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Emery 7, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the 4th inning, starting here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and right now the Emery Spartans leading this one 7-1 as Tristan Debender first steps in. The first pitch is swung on and popped up. That's going to go foul, and we'll have a no ball, 1 strike count here on the right fielder. Debender for on the day is grounded out to first and then reached on an error in the second. And then he got stranded actually that second inning on at first base. No balls and a strike. The kick and the delivery comes home. That one's hit into left field, coming in hard, but it's going to one hop is Josh Jones, and Emery has the leadoff man on here in the 4th inning. A single there by Debendorfer, and now that's going to bring up Dylan Wilstead. Wilstead is 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to left and then hit a pop-up to Braden Ward at short in his last at-bat, which came back in the 2nd inning. Wilstead wears number 11, had a busy top of the 4th inning, making 3 defensive plays. Officially, because the ball was hit at Wilstead, it went off him and then caromed to his teammate at short, Ridge Nielsen. That ground out to end the inning is going to go down as a 5-6-3. Though first pitch misses away. It's 1 ball and no strikes to count now. So kind of one of those interesting things. They'll give Wilstead credit for attempting to make the play, and so he'll get the 5-6-3 put out. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The right-hander coming home. That one swung on and hit out to right pretty well. Schultz is under it. He'll make the play for the first out of the inning. So with 1 away here in the 4th, Tyson Roper will come up. Roper had a double in the second, came around to score, and then hit into a fielder's choice to end that 2nd inning. So both of his at-bats today coming in that 2nd inning. And the first pitch to Roper is going to be high for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. The right-hander Mason Ward just kind of bringing that baseball and just kind of, puts it out there. Kind of, I don't want to say from a sidearm delivery, but kind of just kind of across the body delivery. As the 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball that gets in there for a called strike, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 66 degrees today, partly cloudy, wind out of the east at 5 at first pitch. That one was low for a ball, and it's now going to be 2 balls and a strike here on Roper. The wind has died down quite a bit right now. And the pickoff move going back safely. And now we'll get ready for the 2-1 pitch to Tyson Roper. The right-hander set that comes home. That one misses low and away with the fastball. And the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike here on Tyson Roper. So a good hitter's count. We'll see if Devin Durford looks to maybe try to take second base here. Doesn't have a huge lead. The 3-1 pitch swung on by Roper, hit well to left, but is it fair or is it foul? And it is foul, and we'll do another 3-2 pitch. That one was well up there on the left field berm. The berm starts just about that 305 mark and then goes all the way up to a fence that goes around the deeper part of the ballpark that kind of separates the walking area around the ballpark here compared to the actual field itself. That one misses low, ball 4, and Emery with 1 out has a couple of men on, and that's going to bring up Race Nielsen. So the Spartans are getting it going again here in the 4th as Race Nielsen steps up. Nielsen walked and scored in the 4th and flew out to left in the 3rd. 7-1 Emery, top of the 4th inning. The right-hander winds and delivers that one, a fast breaking ball that misses away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. High school baseball does have a 10-run rule that comes into effect at the end of, 5.5 or the end of 5, whatever the situation is with who's up and ahead. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The right-hander, Ward, coming home. That one's going to be swung on, hit to the left side. Fielded cleanly by Ward. He goes to McElhaney for 1. The relay to first is in time, and they turn 2. Grand County gets a tailor-made double play ball to end the 4th, and they hold Emery off the scoreboard. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning at Brent Brown Ballpark. We'll see if that double play can start something for Grand County. They need 6 to tie. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 4th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark here in Orem, Utah. As right now, Grand County that comes up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Dalton McElhaney, Christian Wilson, and Mason Ward coming up. McElhaney pivoted and made the throw to first to complete the double play as the first pitch misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Not necessarily an easy play when you have a base runner coming in, sliding to try to make your throw difficult, and McElhaney stood right there and made the turn. The pitch comes in, that one misses low for a ball, and it's 2 balls and no strikes the count here on McElhaney. McElhaney on the day 0 for 1, grounded out to short back in the second. Grand County looking to get something going here this afternoon. The 2-0 pitch on its way home is swung on and hit well to center field. Roper going back, he's under it, he's there, and he'll make the play. And the first out of the inning is recorded. So with 1 away, Christian Wilson comes to the plate. Wilson is 0 for 1, popped out to second back in the fourth inning. Or sorry, back in the second inning. He just hit a high pop-up that Easton Gordon was able to get to. Wilson, the third baseman, wears number 23. The wind and the delivery and the first pitch on its way is a breaking ball that ends up coming right down Broadway Avenue, and it's no balls and a strike on Christian Wilson. Mason Ward, the pitcher, in the on-deck circle. No balls and a strike as the wind and the delivery coming home from Doug Moore. That one high for a ball, and the count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Getting ready for what will be a busy next couple of days here at Brent Brown Ballpark. The 1-1 pitch misses low for ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. All the games you can, of course, see, here live in person at Brent Brown Ballpark, or you can see right here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. The 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be on the outside corner for a called strike, and it count evens at 2-2. Of course, we got one more game today. We got North Sevier taking on Beaver. That one is scheduled to start around 7 o'clock, and then we start early tomorrow, 11 a.m. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball swung on, popped up. That one hit into right field. Going back on it is Devin Deefer, and he's there to make the play for the second out of the inning. So with 2 outs, Mason Ward's going to come to the plate as Bryce Dugmore has just kind of settled in here, giving up a couple of hits here and there, but overall just hasn't gotten knocked around too much, gave up the early run, but got the run support back. And the first pitch to Ward, his counterpart on the mound, is in the dirt for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes the count on Mason Ward. Ward hit in the second inning and walked, and then got stranded on at second base. The 1-0 pitch coming home is swung on, that one grounded to third. Fielded by Wilstead. He'll make the throw across the diamond, and that is in time. And the fourth inning is over here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Grand County goes down 1-2-3. We head to the fifth here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's the Emery Spartans 7 and the Grand County Red Devils 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Top of the fifth inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and right now the Emery Spartans coming up here in the fifth inning as they lead this one 7-1 over their Region 15 counterpart, the Grand County Red Devils. And the first pitch to DeBry is on the outside corner for a called strike. Mark DeBry playing in left field today for Emery, 2 for 2 with 2 singles and then it's come around to score twice. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and grounded to short. Braden Ward is there. His throw going to be low and not handled over at first by Noyes. The throw came in on a hop. Caden Noyes tried to backhand. In fact, that's Kyler Nelson now at first base. I looked over there, saw number 11. So Kyler Nelson in there at first base couldn't handle it and reaching there. I think they just gave Grand County an error for that. So the throw was in time to get DeBry, but it just kind of mishandled it, and now Ethan Tuttle comes to the plate. Tuttle with 2 hits today, hits that one hard to Braden Ward. He bobbles it, trying to get it back. They'll get the out at second, but that's all they'll get. So Braden Ward had a ball hit hard at him. If he fields that cleanly, probably turns 2, but instead it turns into a fielder's choice for the first out here of the 5th inning, and Tanner Lake is going to come to the plate. Lake is 0 for 1 officially, did have a walk and came around to score a run as the pickoff throw comes back and Tuttle gets back barely underneath the tag. And I think here Grand County's head coach would like an explanation, and I think a lot of Grand County fans thought they might have had Tuttle over at first, and now just a quick conversation, I think, with the home plate umpire about it, and an explanation made, and now Grand County will go back and get set, ready to go. So Tanner Lake back in the box. Tuttle gets his lead over at first. Mason Ward, the right-hander, comes home. That one misses away with the breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. On deck is Easton Gordon, the second baseman for Emery. Emery 7, Grand County 1, top of the 5th inning. Scheduled to play 7 innings here at Brent Brown Ballpark today. The 1-0 pitch, and that one misses away for a ball. Dolphin thought about the snap throw down to first, but Tanner Lake able to get back, and it's quickly 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Tanner Lake. Now another pickoff move. Tuttle diving back underneath the tag. Tuttle was just starting to get his lead over at first. The pickoff move came, and he dove back underneath the tag. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The right-hander working from the stretch. Another pickoff move. Tuttle scurrying back. See, this time he's able to dive back, but little not as close as plays the last throw that came over. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The right-hander kicks and delivers, comes inside, ball 3. This time they're going to steal second base. Nobody's there as the throw comes. Taking the turn, Tuttle will head down to third. I'm not sure what Dolphin was thinking. He just kind of came up and fired that one, and nobody was home. The second baseman, McElhaney, and Braden Ward were just standing there, and the throw goes into center field, and it's going to cost them at least a base on what's going to be ruled an error against the catcher Dolphin on the throw. And now with 1 away, Tanner Lake can get that run home without having to come up with a hit. He squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and that one misses, ball 4, and Emery has a 1-out walk, and now runners on the corners. Runners on the corners and 1 away as Easton Gordon comes to the plate. Gordon has 2 singles on the day, and that includes 3 RBIs. And we're going to have a courtesy runner coming in as Tanner Lake goes out, I want to say that's Tell Gardner, number 9, coming in to run over at first. I'm not 100% sure. We'll wait to see. And it is Tell Gardner, number 9 here. I waited till we got that confirmed through our PA announcer here at Brent Brown Ballpark. He was a little bit closer, sitting on that kind of that far right side, as I'm on the kind of that far left side of the press box here at Brent Brown Ballpark. So with 1 out, Easton Gordon, having quite a day for Emery, will stand in. Gordon gets set with a pretty even stance in the batter's box. Runners get their lead over at first. Gardner with, would imagine, some good speed as the step, fake throw to third, look over to first, and everybody's back. That is, of course, now illegal to do at the major league level, but the lower levels, including college baseball and high school, you can still do it. That one's grounded to second. That should get 1 run home. The turn to second for 1, as Tell Gardner will be retired at second base, but coming in to score is Ethan Tuttle, and it's 8-1 Emery. So Easton Gordon gets an RBI there on the fielder's choice. Gardner retired at second for the second out of the inning. And now back to the top of the lineup in Ridge Nielsen. Nielsen is 0 for 2 with the sacrifice today. That one blocked in the dirt by Dolphin. Not going was Easton Gordon. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Nielsen struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, and had a sacrifice in the second. Pickoff move, diving back safely is Easton Gordon. Mason Ward has liked to do that pickoff move when Emery's just getting their lead. I think trying to catch him focused on getting that lead and not focused on the ball. That was a 2-0 pitch, taking second base. The throw down on a hop, not in time, as it kind of kicks away from Braden Ward. And even there, it looked to be a little bit of some miscommunication there between the catcher Dolphin and who was covering the bag, because getting a huge jump there was Easton Gordon. And when the throw came down, Braden Ward kind of had to scramble to get back on the bag in time. 2 balls and no strikes the count on Easton Gordon. Sorry, Ridge Nielsen. The 2-0 pitch coming home, and that one misses or gets in there at about knee high for a called strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Ridge Nielsen. On deck, it's going to be Tristan Devendorfer for Emery. That one misses away, ball 3, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Then it would be Dylan Wilstead to follow if the inning should continue. Emery with 8 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. Grand County with 1 run on 4 hits and 4 errors. 3 balls and a strike. Checking the runner at seconds, Mason Ward. He comes home. That one swung on, hit well to left. Coming in, it's going to be up and over the head of Jones. It's going to roll to the wall. Jones came in too hard. Coming in to score is going to be Easton Gordon, and Ridge Nielsen heads into third with an RBI triple. It's now 9-1 Emery here in the 5th. That ball was just misplayed by Josh Jones in left. He came in and then realized it was hit too hard, tried to leap up in the air and make the play, and the ball rolled all the way to the wall. So an RBI triple for Ridge Nielsen, and now Devin Defer's going to stand in. He grounds one over to third. It's fielded cleanly by Wilson. His throw across the diamond is in time, and the 5th inning comes to an end. But the Emery Spartans add 2 here in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's Emery 9, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 5th inning starting here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and if you're the Grand County Red Devils, you have some work to do, and it hasn't been an easy day against Bryce Dugmore, as Dugmore's just settled in and has pitched very well on the afternoon. So it's going to be the top of your lineup. Braden Ward, number 12, to step in and lead it off. And the first pitch on its way, swung on and missed. No balls and a strike on the breaking ball that just kind of started on the inside corner, ended on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Ward, Schultz, and White, 1, 2, and 3 coming up. No balls and a strike. The wind and the delivery comes home. Another breaking ball. This one misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Braden Ward on the day has a single and a run scored, and then he reached on an error back in the second. One of the 2 errors by the Emery Spartans. The 1-1 pitch on its way home. That one swung on, popped high up, giving it a look. is Tuttle, but it's going to go foul here as it will hit off the roof just above us here. It'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dark clouds as we look off into right field, coming up out of the south where most of our storms today that we've gotten here at Brent Brown Ballpark have been coming. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The right-hander winds and delivers, comes home. That one swung on and hit out to right. Deb and Diefer going to give it a look, but it's going to go foul, and it will hit off the maintenance area that sits just down past the right field line. There's some batting cages down there where teams can hit in. A lot of the teams right before the game, you'll see them while the game before them is playing, they'll be down there hitting. Also, where all just the maintenance, field prep equipment and all that is stored. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The pitch comes in, and ducking out of the way is Braden Ward, and the count will even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7 o'clock first pitch scheduled for North Sevier and Beaver. That will be our final game of the day here from Brent Brown Ballpark. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The kick and the delivery home. That one low, ball 3, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Braden Ward. It would be huge for Grand County to find a way to get the leadoff man on with nobody out to try to see if they can start something. The 3-2 pitch swung on, and that one grounded foul past the third baseline. Wilstead gave it a look, but it rolled foul, and it will roll dead just right around the warning track or so. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Bryce Dugmore looking for that final strike for the strikeout. The 3-2 pitch swung on. That one's hit well out to left. Going back is DeBry. He's there. He'll make the catch. And the first out here of the 5th has occurred. So with 1 out, Braden Schultz will come to the plate. Schultz reached on a fielder's choice. Well, hit a ground ball to first, and that was a fielder's choice back in the first. And then he also flew out to right back in the second inning. Stands in from the right side, an even stance, and the first pitch on its way home is swung on and missed, and it's no balls and a strike. Tanner White on deck for Grand County. No balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander on the mound kicks and delivers. Dugmore comes home, and the 0-1 pitch is over for a called strike, and it's 0-2 now on Braden Schultz. Dugmore not overpowering, has relied heavily today on that breaking ball. The 0-2 pitch, and there's another, looks like breaking ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Winner of this one plays at 11 a.m. tomorrow against Delta. And that will be another elimination game. You get that 1 loss in the state tournament bracket, and you have to win your way through all the way to the state championship game. And that one was low and inside for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, including having to win potentially 3 on Saturday. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. The wind and the delivery coming home, and that one swung on and fouled right back to the screen. On Saturday morning at 9 a.m., there will be the final elimination game that will feature the loser of the Manti Enterprise game tomorrow at 4:30. The winner of that one gets into the state championship game. That one swung on and fouled back. So it's just kind of an interesting way of doing it, because whoever is coming out of that bottom part of the bracket has to win their first game at 9, then play again around 11 a.m. or so in what would be the state championship game. And then if the team from the bottom part of the bracket wins that, the 2-2 pitch swung on. That one's lined by Schultz, but right at DeBry, who is standing there to make the play for the second out of the inning. If you win that one, then you have to go ahead, and then you have to play a third game on Saturday. So it can be a very long day for you if you come out of that bottom part of the bracket and you find a way to win that first game against the team from the top part of the bracket, who's essentially had a lot of rest. Tanner White swings and comes up empty on the first pitch. White has a sacrifice fly for the lone Grand County RBI, and then also reached on a single back in the third. No balls and a strike. The kick and the delivery comes, and White swings through that one, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Tanner White. Bryce Dugmore has been solid so far through 4 2/3. One strike away from completing 5, and the pitch just off the plate for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kyler Nelson in the on-deck circle got the start for Grand County and only went an inning before getting removed from the ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch and the delivery comes out when swung on, hit pretty well out to right. Going back is Devin Deefer. He's not going to get there. It's going to roll to the wall. Tanner White will go into second. He'll be standing up with a double, his second hit of the ball game. And with 2 outs, Grand County now has a runner in scoring position, and an opportunity here for Kyler Nelson to try to see if they can't get something going here with 2 outs in the inning. Nelson had a single back in the first and then grounded out to Wilstead back in the third. Nelson takes a quick step out of the batter's box. Now he'll step in as our umpire gets a fresh set of some baseballs out to get into his pocket there. Doug Moore takes a look at White at second, comes home, and there's a pitch that's a little bit high for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. The Class 3A state tournament next weekend down at Dixie State University down in St. George. The 1-0 pitch coming in, swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to count now. The 4A and 5A tournament begins on May 18th, and that will be played, the 4A tournament here at Brent Brown Ballpark, and then the 5A tournament up in Kearns, and then later on in the week we'll move down here. As Nelson swings and rolls that one foul, and the count moves now to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Kyler Nelson. A big pitch coming here from Bryce Dugmore. Kyler Nelson looking for that clutch RBI. Easton Gordon moves over to the bag. Now will drop back. Nelson kind of turns her on it and just pulls it foul, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. We talked about it earlier at the beginning of the ballgame. These 2 teams have played twice before, with Emery winning the first 2 of these matchups. No balls and 2 strikes to count. The wind and the delivery comes, swung on and missed. Ball gets away from the catcher. The throw down to first is in time to complete the strikeout, and the 5th inning comes to an end as well here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Grand County gets a man on here in the 5th, but they can't score him. At the end of 5 from Brent Brown Ballpark, it's Emery 9, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Now pitching for Grand, number 17, Josh Jones. Vernon Meter enters the game in left field. Leading off Grand
Top of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. It's 9-1 Emery, and Grand County is going to make another pitching change. They're going to go as the first pitch is swung on and grounded over to third, and throw across the diamond by Wilson's in time for the first out of the 6th inning. So Wilstead grounds out to his third baseman counterpart Wilson for the first out, and now Tyson Roper is going to come up. New pitcher is going to be number 16, and that is the left fielder for Grand County, and that is number 17, Josh Jones, comes in. The first pitch missing low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Staying in the game is Mason Ward. He just moves out to left field, as coming out from behind home plate will be Dolphin here, and I think he's going to have a quick word here as Tyson Roper stands in the box. Rain kind of beginning to fall once again here at Brent Brown Ballpark. Just a slight shower here as Emery's head coach will pull Tyson Roper out of the box, have a quick word with him as Dolphin ends his conversation with the right-hander Josh Jones. So Mason Ward comes in and does a fairly good job here against Emery. It does, give up a couple of runs here and there, including the 2 runs in the 5th inning. But at the end of the day, that was able to kind of slow down the bats of Emery as the ball goes away for ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Tyson Roper. The wind of the delivery comes, the 2-0 pitch. That one's in at the knees for a called strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Roper. More action going in the Grand County bullpen here in case this one gets a little more interesting. The 2-1 pitch misses low, ball 3. It's 3 balls and 1 strike here on Tyson Roper. Roper had a double in the second, grounded out to end the 2nd inning. So he led off the 2nd inning, and then they went all the way around, and he ended the inning with an out. 3-1 pitch on the way, misses low, ball 4 for the 2nd time in back-to-back at-bats. Tyson Roper draws a walk, and he's on with 1 out. Here comes Race Nielsen. Nielsen walked in the 2nd, flew out to left, and then grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the 4th inning. Big hole on the right side as Kyler Nelson will hold the runner on. And the first pitch, a fastball, misses away. 1 ball and no strikes as it gets dark again here at Brent Brown Ballpark. This might be, to what I can remember, it being the darkest it's been all afternoon. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The pitch comes in. This one's going to bounce in the dirt and roll over towards the Emery dugout, and advancing down to second base will be Tyson Roper. So Roper moves up into scoring position for Race Nielsen. Nielsen doesn't have an RBI in this one, has scored a run. Hitting in that 5 spot for Emery. Spartans have hit the baseball well today. 9 runs coming on 9 hits. 2 balls and no strikes to count. The right-hander comes home, and that one misses low, ball 3. And it's 3 balls and no strikes here on Race Nielsen. Mark DeBry in the on-deck circle, getting loose, scheduled to hit here in the inning with 2 hits on the afternoon. Also reached on an error. 3-0 pitch coming home, and that one's over as taking all the way was Nielsen, and it's 3 balls and a strike. So Josh Jones coming in the game has done a fairly good job so far. 3-1 pitch coming in, that one swung on, and that one's going to be tapped foul. Will hit off the roof and roll, I'm assuming, back onto the parking lot here, and it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes to count on Nielsen. So Jones does a good job here of battling back in the count after being down 3-0, working back to be 3-2, and the wind, the delivery comes. That one misses high and away for ball 4, and Emery has 2 men on here in the 6th. Back-to-back walks as the right-hander getting loose, and I think we're going to have another courtesy runner, and we will. And it will be Wyatt Cox will come in to courtesy run here in this situation. So now a couple of men on here for Emery, representing run 10 and 11. So the 10-run rule comes into effect at the end of 5 or sometimes 5.5, depending on who has the lead. But it can also come into play in the 6th inning, as Mark DeBry will come to the plate. DeBry with a couple of singles back in the 2nd and 1 in the 3rd, reached on an error in his last at-bat coming in the 5th inning. So with one out, a couple of Spartans on the base pass, and the first pitch is going to be missed away with the fastball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Ethan Tuttle, the catcher in the on-deck circle, has 2 RBIs on the day for Emery. Spartans trying to hold on and advance to get a date with Delta tomorrow morning. The 1-0 pitch, that one right on the outside corner, and it evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners get their leads at first and second. Schultz in right field playing a little more shallow. And the 1-1 pitch, that one's going to go off the glove of Dolphin and go to the backstop. Turning around there, he was squaring around, was DeBry to bunt. He pulled his bat back, and the ball just goes off Dolphin's glove to the backstop, and runners will move up 90 feet. So now runners on at second and third with 1 away, and DeBry here a chance for a couple of RBIs with a single. Grand County will bring the infield in. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander comes home, and that one's a fastball right on the outside corner. Evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 6th inning, it's 9-1, Emery on top. The loser of this one, season comes to an end. The winner gets a date with Delta. The 2-2 pitch, that one misses away, ball 3, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Mark DeBry. The new pitcher, Josh Jones, got the first out of the inning on a ground out and then walked the next 2 hitters. First base is open as the 3-2 pitch is being swung on. That one's going to roll up on the screen, and then it will roll back right onto the playing field as the screen is slanted to catch those balls that do hit there and roll them right back onto the field. Infield in for Grand County. Everybody playing in with the dirt. The 3-2 pitch fouled right back to the screen, and we'll do another 3-2 pitch. The right-hander, Josh Jones, on the mound from the set. Delivers home, and reaching for it and popping it straight up is DeBry. Jones is there. He'll make the catch for the second out of the inning. Had DeBry let that one go, I think that was ball 4. I think he chased one that was out of the zone that had he leaves that one goes, it would have just been popped straight up into the air. Second, then, he lets that one go. He's on first base with 1 out. Here's Ethan Tuttle. Tuttle had a 2-run single in the second, a single back in the in the third, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. And the first pitch coming home to Tuttle is a fastball that misses off the plate for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Infield for Grand County will move back now. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The right-hander deals, comes home, and Tuttle fouls that one away, and now evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Just past 6 o'clock here, you're watching the 2015 Class 2A High School State Baseball Championship for the state of Utah, an elimination game here at the state tournament. It's Grand and Emery. We thank you for joining us here as Tuttle pops that one up down the line. Going to be a tough play. Getting there just past first base is Nelson, who makes the play, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. So Emery gets a couple of men on, but they can't score them. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Emery 9, Grand County 1. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark, 9-1 Emery, and Grand County will come up here. Middle part of their lineup, Josh Jones, the pitcher, will lead it off. Jones is 1 for 2 on the afternoon, a single and a ground out. And the first pitch misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Jones, Dolphin, and McElhaney coming up. 5, 6, and 7 for Grand County, looking to get something going here against Dugmore. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Dugmore has so far been in full control tonight, has pitched well, kept the ball down. As the 0-1 pitch comes, that one swung on, lined out to left, coming over and reaching up and not making the play. Out there is DeBry. DeBry reached up and couldn't come up with it, and Josh Jones is on here with a leadoff double in the 6th, looking to try to get something going for Grand County. The second hit of the day for Jones. He's now 2 for 3, and now Ronald Dolphin's going to come to the plate. So a big opportunity here for Grand County to try to, I mean, obviously you would love to get all 8 runs back at once, but if you can't get all 8 runs back, then just maybe getting a couple back here. The lights begin to come on here. Brent Brown Ballpark. Bunt laid down the third baseline. Wilstead gonna gun it over there, not in time, and Grand County's got a couple of runners on. A bunt single for Dolphin, and now runners on the corners here, nobody out, and McElhaney's gonna come to the plate. McElhaney 0 for 2 on the day. Grounded out to short and flew out to center, as it is just one big dark cloud sitting right over Brent Brown Ballpark. The Wasatch Mountains in the distance, you can't really see. Everyone now starting to get the umbrellas out, and they're starting to head for cover. The ones that are down, as it's raining pretty well down there now, and the 1-0 pitch is away for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. I've called some UVU baseball in the past this year, and I was kind of explaining to everybody that was here a little while ago that this is a field that handles the wet pretty well, but if it really, depending on how heavy it does come down, that could get kind of interesting. It does look lighter out towards right center field, but I think some of this is coming from the north as well. 1 ball and no strikes the count here on McElhaney. Everybody here kind of just heading for cover as the 1-0 pitch misses away, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes the count. We've had just kind of some on and off showers for the last about little over 3 hours here at the ballpark. Coming from about that middle to the end of the last game. The 2-0 pitch, McElhaney swings and fouls it off here. And it'll be 2 balls and 1 strike. They've talked about some scattered thunderstorms moving through the area tonight and really throughout the remainder of this tournament. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Runners get their leads on the corners. It's going to be Dolphin at first and Josh Jones at third, and the 2-1 pitch misses away, ball 3, and the count runs to 3 balls and a strike here on Dalton McElhaney. Dugmore, this is probably the first time in a while that he's really been under the gun, and the throw over to first, diving back safely, is Ronald Dolphin at first. On deck, it's Christian Wilson, the third baseman. Grand County in a good opportunity to get a couple back. 3-1 pitch, that one misses, ball 4, and the bases are full of Red Devils here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and nobody out for Christian Wilson. And Christian Wilson, who's 0 for 2, has popped out to second and popped out to right. A visit to the mound here by the Emery head coach, as this is a golden opportunity if you're Grand County. You cannot really let this opportunity pass, because right now, if you do let this opportunity pass, who knows if you'll get another opportunity in the 7th inning. It's an 8-run ball game. You need to get a couple back here to just bring it back into striking distance. And that's really what you want. Obviously, 8 runs here in the inning would be great. And I'm sure Grand County would have no trouble getting those 8 runs here. They'd probably be perfectly happy. But even if you could get some back, say get 4 here in the inning, and just kind of bring it back to a closer deficit heading into that 7th inning would work as well. So bases loaded for Christian Wilson here. The visit to the mound is over, and a big at bat here as working his way on deck is number 3, Bruin Metter is moving into the on-deck circle, number 3 here for Grand County. So Christian Wilson at the plate, nobody out, bottom of the 6th inning, bases full for Grand County. And the first pitch on the way, a breaking ball that never really broke, as taken for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. That one kind of broke up above the head of Christian Wilson. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Emery's going to play back here. They'll give Grand County the run here for an out. 1 ball and no strikes to count. The kick and the delivery coming home. That one's going to get passed into the backstop. Coming home from third is Josh Jones. And Grand County has put their first run up from the first inning. It's now 9-2 in favor of Emery. They got 1 in, still nobody out, and everyone moves up another base. And now you have another opportunity here to get a couple of more runs in. You don't need a hit here to score those runs. A fly ball to the outfield would definitely get probably 1 run home. 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Christian Wilson. The delivery on its way, swung on, and that one's going to be lined foul off the netting. It's now 2 balls and a strike. The rain's been coming down here for a good little while here. Earlier I said probably our heaviest shower of the afternoon. I'm going to correct that. Now is probably for sure the heaviest shower of the afternoon. 2 balls and a strike. The right-hander comes home, and that one's going to go low, ball 3, and the count runs to 3 balls and a strike. So 3 balls and a strike on Christian Wilson. First base is open. Doug Moore a ball away from putting Wilson on and reloading the bases. The 3-1 pitch is going to be swung on, fouled away, and the count will go full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A big pitch here if you're Bryce Dugmore. You've pitched so well throughout the afternoon, but here in the inning, Grand County strung together a leadoff double, then a single, and then a walk, mixed in with a wild pitch, helped Grand County score 1 run. The 3-2 pitch on its way. That one swung on line through the left side for a base hit. That's going to bring home Dolphin. McElhaney right behind him. He's going to hold as the throw came high but was right on the money. And Christian Wilson moves to second on the throw after the RBI single. It's a single for Wilson because he advanced to second on the throw. And now Grand County has cut the lead down to 9-3 here in the 6th inning. 2 runs already in, and we're going to have a pinch hitter, Bruin Metter going to come in and hit here. Hitting from the left side. Hitting for Mason Ward here. And the first pitch, high for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Have to wonder here how long Emery will stick here with Doug Moore. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Emery having played an 11-9 game earlier this afternoon. The other question is how many pitchers do they have available? The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. So the hard part about it is you have to understand that, and then you have to be ready to go to potentially play 2 tomorrow as well. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Doug Moore looks, pitches that one high. It's now 2 balls and a strike. That's the hard part about getting to the bottom part of the bracket is if you're Emery, you win tonight, you have to play Delta at 11. If you beat Delta, you have to play again at 7 o'clock tomorrow. So it's just kind of hard because now you have to figure out pitchers for all that. The 2-1 pitch misses high, ball 3, and it's 3 balls and a strike, and then potentially come back if you want to win a state championship, and you'd have to play, 3 games on Saturday. So you're talking about playing 7 games in the 3 calendar days, and you have to have pitching for all of those. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. The right-hander set, working from the stretch. The 3-1 pitch coming home. That one grounded over to third. Wilstead cuts it off. That's going to hold the runner. The throw in time for the first out of the 6th inning. And if you're Bryce Dugmore, that is a huge out of the inning. For the first out of the inning, you do turn it over to the top of the lineup. And Braden Ward coming to the plate for Grand County. Ward on the day singled in the first, reached on an error in the second, and flew out to left in his last at-bat in the 5th. Standing in from the right side, would love a base hit here to maybe score 2. First pitch to Ward, swung on, grounded right back to the pitcher. That's going to hold the run at third. Throw over to first is in time, and the second out of the inning's recorded. So Doug Moore, whenever Grand County really gets something going today, he has just kind of settled back in, and when he's just settled back in, he's been able to find a way to get the outs. So 2 outs, Braden Schultz coming to the plate. Schultz is 0 for 3 on the day. A ground out to first and 2 flyouts in the second and 1 in the 5th inning. With 2 outs here, looking to try to keep this rally going for Grand County. Doug Moore delivers the first pitch, misses away with the ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to the count. One ball, no strikes to the count here on Braden Schultz. Schultz even stance in the batter's box. Doug Moore set on the mound, comes home. That one swung on, fouled right back, and will be 1 ball and 1 strike to count. 7 o'clock, the final game of the day will begin here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com, or somewhere around 7 o'clock anyway, as it will be North Sevier and Beaver. Plain loser, of course, is eliminated. Winner of that one moves into a 1:30 game tomorrow against Gunnison. The 1-1 pitch, that one misses high, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and a strike now on Schultz. Schultz doing a good job working the count here. Getting himself into a good hitter's count. Should see something good to hit here. 2-1 pitch on its way. There's a fastball knee high, and it's a called strike, and it evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 9-3 Emery, bottom of the 6th inning here at the 2015 Class 2A state tournament here in Orem, Utah. Time called here as a baseball got away from the bullpen and rolled all the way down behind home plate. The second base umpire calling the time after he noticed the baseball. So they'll get the baseball back to the bullpen. Schultz will stand back in the box and we'll be ready to go again. The Grand County Red Devils with 2 runs here in the 6th to cut into that deficit. 2-2 pitch on its way home now from Doug Moore, and that's a check swing. Ball gets away, runner goes to first. The throwdown is in time to complete the strikeout, but Grand County does get 2 back here in the 6th. They cut into that deficit at the end of 6 from Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem. It's the Emery Spartans 9, the Grand County Red Devils 3. You're watching the 2015 Class 2A Utah High School State Baseball Tournament on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
Now pitching for Graham, number 9, Alex Williams. Clean off for Emery. First baseman,
Top of the
23.
top of the 7th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark in Orem, Utah. The Emery Spartans coming up to bat here, and Tanner Lake to stand in and lead it off. He'll take the first pitch low and inside for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes here. New pitcher coming in for Grand County. It's going to be number 9, Alec Williams coming in. The right-hander has the 1-0 pitch. And that one misses for ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. They still have the music on here in the background as the 2-0 pitch. One hop right to Wilson, who knocked it down, then mishandled it to throw across the diamond, though, in time for the first out of the 7th inning. I'm not sure if they 100% realize that the music is still playing here, but unfortunately, you know, that's something over here in a couple. I'm surprised because a lot of times the umpire will actually stop the game until that music is turned off. So I'm kind of surprised that now he turns around to stop everything here, and there we go. Now we'll get the music stopped here with 1 out in the inning now. That's going to bring up Easton Gordon. Gordon has 3 RBIs on 2 singles tonight. In fact, credit him with 4 RBIs as the first pitch is away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. Gordon hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th, and that brought home. And that one's going to be swung on, grounded right to third again. Wilson is there. The throw across the diamond is high and offline, and Easton Gordon's going to be on there on the throwing error. That's going to be probably, I would think, a bad throw on Wilson, as the throw kind of came up into the base runner there. So with 1 out, the runner reaches there on the air, and now we go back to Ridge Nielsen. I put Easton Gordon with an RBI in the 5th. Problem is, no runs. Oh, 2 runs did score in the 5th inning for Emery. So Easton Gordon with 4 RBIs on the afternoon. Back to the top of the lineup in Ridge Nielsen. Nielsen will take the first pitch, a breaking ball that misses away for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Ridge Nielsen had an RBI triple in the 5th, a ground out, a sacrifice, and a strikeout on the day. 1-0 pitch on its way. There's a fastball that misses low, ball 2, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pick and the pickoff move. Williams just kind of turning, just kind of short-arming the throw over to first, and diving back safely was Ridge Nielsen, and he got underneath, was Easton Gordon who got underneath the tag. Comes home with this one, and that one misses ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Ridge Nielsen. On deck, it's going to be Diebendorfer for Emery. 3-0 pitch coming home. That one inside and behind the runner, so everybody moves up. It is a live ball, so Dolphin will get to it quickly before Easton Gordon gets any ideas to try to take third base. And so now with runners on at first and second, Emery a chance now to try to maybe add some insurance runs or make the bottom half of the inning a little more difficult here on Grant. Here on Grand County, is right now they need 6 in the bottom half.
Center fielder, number 25,
Diebendorfer stands in, and the first pitch is inside. That's off the glove of Dolphin, and the runners will move up 90 feet again. So runners will move up here to second and third with 1 away, as that one just goes right off the glove. And now I think there's might be a visit out to the mound here coming. One of the Grand County coaches just kind of standing there in the middle of the diamond, or not the middle of the diamond, but just kind of in between the dugout and the third baseline, giving some instructions. And it's kind of interesting because haven't seen that a ton before. Typically they'll either go out or they'll just give those instructions from the dugout. Infield coming in for Grand County. The 1-0 pitch is swung on. That one's hit very well to left field. Going back and not going to get there. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. That's going to score 2. Coming in to score is Gordon. Coming in behind him is Nielsen. Diebendorfer up into second base with a 2-run double, and it's 11-3 Emery here in the 7th inning. A 2 RBI double that was just hit really well out to left field. That ball, was just hit hard out to left, and the left fielder for Grand County just couldn't quite get there as the first pitch misses away to Wilstead. It's 1 ball and no strikes to count. The right-hander, Alec Williams, takes a look at second and winds and comes home. And that one's off the glove of Dolphin to the backstop. So moving down 90 feet now is Devin Durfer, and now the runner sits 90 feet away here with one away. The throw almost got up over the head of Williams as Nelson came coming over here to try to cut the runner off. 11-3 Emery here in the top of the 7th inning, 1 out. Runner sits on third, 90 feet away from scoring the 12th run of the game for the Spartans of Emery. The 2-0 pitch, coming home with it and going around there is ball 3, and they're going to say he didn't go. And I'm surprised because from my vantage point there, it looked like that bat came all 90% around, but end of the day, they're going to say he held up. The 3-0 pitch, high and tight, ball 4. So second walk here of the inning allowed by Alec Williams, and with 1 out, that's going to bring up Tyson Roper.
Center fielder, number 5, Tyson Roper.
So Roper will stand in. He's walked twice, hit into a fielder's choice, and had a double back in the second that came around to score a run. Runners on the corners here with 1 away. Infield up the middle, McElhaney and Ward playing double play depth. The pitch on its way. That one swung on, hit to center field, and it's going to be actually looped, caught by McElhaney, and they're going to double off the runner. It was just a little looper that McElhaney got to, and when he did, Wilstead was standing on second base, and all the throw had to do was come. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, and Grand County, the Red Devils, have some work to do. They need 8 runs to continue their season. We'll see what Grand County does after the break here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.
For Emery in the top half of the 7th inning, he scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 grand error and 1 runner left on base.
Is Tyler Tanner the only senior? Oh, Ronnie. Have they asked Tyler to play this game? Summer league? So you don't think they'll have one at all? Well, what about that first base pick? What about the third base coach? He's obviously the head coach. Is he the one that coached it? No, the other coach. Okay, let's go, Tanner! Start us off!
Bottom of the 7th inning here at Brent Brown Ballpark. The Grand County Red Devils coming up, and they have 3 outs right now as it sits in their season, and they need some runs. Tanner White will step up to lead it off. He's 2 for 3 on the day, and the first pitch misses low for a ball. So right now, if there's a man in that Grand County lineup that you want up in this kind of a situation, I would say you'd want Tanner White with the 2 hits. His other at-bat was a sacrifice fly that brought home an RBI. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, grounded to third, past the diving third baseman Wilstead. And Tanner White's got his 3rd hit of the ball game. And now a man on base, and here comes Kyler Nelson. So just how you wanted to start it here, if you're Grand County, is you want to just get that first man on base, and now Kyler Nelson has to try to continue that here. You're not going to get all 8 runs back with 1 swing of the bat. So right now you just got to start stringing together some hits against Doug Moore. First pitch bounces in there for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. On deck, it's Josh Jones. Jones with 2 hits on the afternoon. Sun coming back out and just making an appearance as the darker rain clouds have moved up over the Wasatch Mountains. 1 ball and no strikes the count. The pitch coming home. That one swung on and popped up into left field. DeBry calling everybody off, and he'll make the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. So with one out, Josh Jones will come to the plate. Jones 2 for 3, including back in the 6th inning. He hit a double deep to left field to kind of start everything off for Grand County. Also a single back in the 1st, and he grounded out in the 3rd. One out, the runner over at first is Tanner White. Doug Moore from the stretch comes home, and the first pitch misses low for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count. McElhaney on deck. Again, just trying to string together some hits. That one swung on, that one's hit out into left center field. Coming over and making the catch in center is Roper, and there's 2 away. So just an update on the 2A softball tournament going down in Spanish Fork. I just kind of been heard they've had to kind of change some of those schedules. Some of the games tomorrow are going to be moved now to 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. down there at the Spanish Fork complex. Spanish Fork getting, I would just imagine, a little bit more rain than we have gotten throughout this afternoon. So just kind of something to keep in action as the first pitch on the outside corner and no balls and a strike. We're we're really fortunate because a lot of the other games behind, around us here, the BYU baseball team at home, they were in a rain delay. Some of those other events going on as well has been a rain delay. 2 outs, that's a pop-up over to first. Reaching into the dugout and making the catch is Lake, and that's how the ball game's going to end. He ran out of room over there, threw his glove up in the dugout, and he made the play, and the ball game comes to an end. The Grand County Red Devils have their season come to an end today here in Orem, Utah. A great effort for the Red Devils today, but they just didn't have enough to quite take care of the Emery Spartans. The Emery Spartans move on now. They'll play a game tomorrow. They'll meet Delta at 11 a.m. right here at Brent Brown Ballpark and on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com. That will be another elimination game, so Emery will be playing with their back up against the wall, and so will Delta. The Grand Canyon Red Devils season comes to an end. Overall on the season, Grand County did a great job on the season, going 8-4 in their Region 15. They were 15-8 overall, had a great season for the Red Devils. We congratulate them on a great season. So it's 6:30, in about 30 minutes from now or so, the final game of the day is scheduled to begin. Another elimination game. It will be North Sevier taking on Beaver. North Sevier beating Millard earlier this afternoon, 9-0. They played at 1:30 at Spanish Fork at Nelson Field, home of the Spanish Fork Dons. And then they'll take on Beaver, who beat Summit Academy 9-1. That was also a 1:30 game down in Spanish Fork. So until 7 o'clock, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off, saying so long here from Brent Brown Ballpark. We'll be back, though, in about a half hour, 30 minutes from now, where we'll have North Sevier taking on Beaver. Until that time, I'm Ryan Pickens signing off, saying so long until the final game of the day here on KSL.com and DeseretNews.com.